Good morning, students. Now today our topic is states of matter. Okay, and all of you are familiar with the three states of matter, that is solid, liquid and gas. Now here you can see the picture. Here are the three states of matter, that is solid, liquid and gas, and you know that in the solids which form of water will come, that is ice cubes. Okay, in liquids water itself is there, and in the gaseous state water vapor is present. Okay, so let's start with the liquid state of water. Okay, so you know that in the liquid state water itself is present, and this is the most abundant state of water, and it is found in all the water bodies, that is seas, rivers, lakes, ponds, etc. Next state of water is ice. It is the solid state as well as it is the frozen state of water. Okay, you know that in the nature water is present in the frozen state in on the mountain peaks, glaciers, ice caps, icebergs, etc. Okay, now the third state of water or the matter is gas, and in gas the state of water is water vapor. It is the gaseous state, and most importantly this is present as a component of air, because in air water vapor is present, and that is the state of water. You know that these three states of water are interconvertible. Interconvertible means they can be converted into one another. You know that the water can be converted into ice when we will cool the water, and at which point we will cool the water? We will cool the water at 0 degrees Celsius. And how we will get the 0 degrees Celsius? When we will keep the water in the freezer. In the freezer water will get the 0 degrees Celsius temperature, that is known as freezing point, and at this point water converts into ice. Okay, that means freezing point is the temperature at which water changes from liquid state to solid state. Okay, and once if you will take out the ice from the freezer, then what will happen? The temperature will decrease and ice starts melting, and it changes back to the liquid state of water from its solid state. Okay, now the next state is, you know that as this liquid converts into ice, so that liquid can be converted into gaseous state also. And how it will convert into the gaseous form? When we will heat it. By heating only water can be converted into its gaseous state. Now for that we have to heat the water at a temperature of 100 degree Celsius, and that 100 degrees Celsius is actually the boiling point of water. At this point water starts to boil, and then it starts to vaporize. That means it will starts to convert into the water vapor, that is the gaseous state. Okay, and when you will cool that water vapor, what will happen? Condensation will take place, and that water will again converted into water vapor will converted into water. Okay, so by this you will come to know that water is the states of water are interconvertible. We can convert each state of water into another. Okay students, now our next topic is water cycle. Now you can see that here is a water cycle, and you can easily see that from the water sources water starts to evaporate. You people like learning from the very third standard or second standard this process, that is water cycle. You know that what happens in this cycle. So what will happen? The water will starts to evaporate from the heat of the sun, from all the water sources, even from all the water sources means from all the water bodies. Okay, even when the plant starts to transpirate, that means when transpiration will takes place, then also plants add water vapor into the air, and it will increase the water vapor, and that water vapor will start rises. You can see in the diagram also, with the process of evaporation, heat water is converted into water vapor, and that water vapor will start rising, and when this water vapor will like condense, then it will form clouds. By the process of condensation it will form the clouds. When clouds are saturated means when they will just full of water, then they will what they will become? They will become heavy. Okay, and when the water clouds will become heavy, then they will precipitate. That means precipitation means falling of rain. Okay, the water which is present in the clouds, they will come down on the earth by the rainfall, and that process is known as precipitation. Now what will happen after this precipitation? The water will again come back onto the earth, and this cycle will continuously going on and known as water cycle. Okay students, and now in this also one more thing is there. You can see different like labeling here. That is surface runoff water. Surface runoff water is that water which is present on the surface of the earth. That is in the surface water is present in the form of lakes, ponds, okay, and like lakes, ponds, yeah, and rivers also. It is present on the land. That's why this type of water is known as surface water. Surface water is that, and surface runoff which is just flowing on the land by the rainfall. Okay, now next term is there, infiltration and groundwater. That two terms we will read in the next topic, that is known as water table. Before starting with the next diagram, in this diagram only I will explain you about the infiltration and groundwater. Now what will happen, when the during the process of like that cycle, water cycle, rainwater flows down on the earth, and it will flows through the drains from the canals, rivers, and reaches the oceans. Okay, and by this they will increase the water level. That is they will increase the water level in all these water bodies, and the remaining water which will be there, they will seep down into the ground, okay, through soil, and that seeping of water, and that is known as infiltration. Okay, that seeping of water is known as we can say percolation, and this process by which the ground water means जो water seep हो रहा है और फिर वो मिट्टी में जा रहा है, that is ground water. ठीक है, and in that ground water there is a top level of the groundwater, that is known as water table. This I will show in the next diagram. Okay, and this process of seeping down into the soil is known as infiltration. Okay, and you can get the groundwater by digging the wells and the tube wells. Okay, now this groundwater is usually pure since it passed through several layers of soil. Okay, now once the water starts to pass through the soil, it will just become pure, and this water is actually, that's why we call that groundwater is the purest form, because soil acts as a natural filter, and this water will can be easily drinkable form, or we can irrigate also. We can use this water for irrigation. Okay, now this water get collected below the water table between the rocks. Now you can see in this diagram there is a bedrock aquifer. Actually this is the layer under the soil or under the land. Here rocks are present, and in between the rocks you can see the water is also present, and that layer is known as aquifer. Okay, and you can, from which we can extract the water from this layer by water well. Well. Okay, so from where the water will come in the wells? From this bedrock aquifer. From this layer only we will get the water in the water well. Okay students, so you might have clear about the aquifer. Aquifer is that layer under the soil in which rocks are present, and in between the rocks water is present, so that layer is known as aquifer. Water table is that topmost layer under the ground at which water is present. Okay, water table is the टॉप लेवल ऑफ द अंडरग्राउंड वाटर. अंडरग्राउंड वाटर सॉइल के अंदर जो वाटर है, लैंड के अंदर जो वाटर है, और उसका जो टॉप लेयर है जहाँ से वाटर स्टार्ट होता है, दैट इज़ नोन एज वाटर टेबल. और जब अपन उसके बिल्कुल डीप में जाएंगे तो हमें रॉक्स मिलेंगे, उन रॉक्स के बीच में वाटर होता है, एंड दैट लेयर इज नोन एज एक्वाफर. ओके, नाउ नेक्स्ट टॉपिक इज डिप्लीशन ऑफ वाटर टेबल. Now, what is depletion of water table? So, depletion of water table is actually the reduction. Reduction means decrease in the amount of groundwater. That is known as depletion of water table. You know that water table will not get affected as long as it will not get replenished by natural methods. That means if the rainfall will not be there properly, then only it will get affected. Otherwise, it will get replenished. It will become same after getting filled by the rainwater. Okay, so now it is depleting, that means decreasing. So why? Because when the rate of consumption means use, when the rate of use of the groundwater will be more than its recharge, मतलब वो भरे उससे पहले ही हम उसको water use कर रहे हैं, then the water table will get adversely affected. Okay, and here I will tell you about the different factors. There are various factors because of which the level of water table is decreasing, or there is a cause these factors cause a fall in the level of water table. So here are the three factors which are responsible for the depletion of water table. So let's discuss one by one. So in this, our first factor is urbanization. I hope you know what is urbanization. Urbanization means the rural people will start coming in the city areas, okay, for better development, for better growth, and for living a luxurious life, for their occupation also they are coming. And because of this, the land area will just like converted into the buildings, roads, houses, etc. Because previously when there was less population, there were good amount of forest area, but because of urbanization, that open grasslands converted into buildings, roads, houses, towers, parks, etc. Okay, and as a result of it, the soil cover, that means the forest will converted into the concrete floors. That means our houses has been built over that particular place, and because of that, that concrete floor will not let the rainwater to seep into the ground, because you know that concrete will not let the water to go inside them, whereas the soil will let the water or seepage of water will takes place through the soil. So because of urbanization, that seeping of water will get prevented, or it stops, and because of which the level of underground water is decreasing. So there is one, and the important factor is urbanization. Okay, now the next one is increase in agriculture. Now in increase in agriculture, what happens? As the population increases, so the demand also increases, and due to increase in population, they want more food, and for the more food, more land has been taken for the agriculture, and this resulted in the increased demand of water also. And from where we will get the water? Obviously from the underground only. So there is subsequent decrease in water table, as because of the increased population, more demand of food will be there, and because of more demand of food, farmers need more water for irrigation, and then it decreases the water table. Okay, and now the last one is deforestation. I hope you know, with this term you are quite familiar. What is deforestation? That is the cutting down of forest at a large scale, or very good, like when the farmers or the human beings, they keep on cutting the forest for their factories, for their houses, for their buildings, then that will lead to deforestation, and large scale deforestation has adversely affect the water cycle. Now how it is affecting? Because the land without vegetation cover will not be able to absorb too much water, as it cannot slow down the flow of rainwater. When rain will come, then it will just like flow like anything, and it will not be able to absorb or seep into the soil. And as you know that if the forest will be there, then the forest or the trees, they will slows down the speed of the rain, and it will let the raindrops to fall slowly, and it will give the time for the soil to seep the water into it. And because of it, it also results in the depletion of underground water because of lack of forest, and thus affecting the water table. So students, I hope you are quite clear with the topic. Okay, and just revise it, understand it, and as this we have done with today's topic. In the next video we will discuss about the scarcity of water.